Red Dead Redemption review, here it is. So, let's start off by talking a little bit about the game itself. So, Red Dead Redemption is RockStar's brand new free roam installment. And also, I guess, a sequel to the previous Red Dead Revolver on the PlayStation 2. It is a third-person, sandbox-style action-adventure game. Basically very story-driven and gives the player the option to do whatever he or she wants in a open-world environment taking place in 1911 during the Wild West times. You play as John Marston, who is an ex-gang member to one of the most badass gangs ever in America. What happens is he leaves the gang because many people are starting to go crazy, and he just doesn't like how the rules, what direction they're going in. So he leaves the gang, gets married, and has a kid. Next thing you know, people from the government are knocking on his door, threatening to kill his wife and his son if he does not complete the task and help them capture two of his former friends and gang leaders, who are Bill Williamson and Javier Escuela. So throughout the whole game, he goes to find Bill Williamson and Javier Escuela wherever they may be, and it's just a trail on getting revenge and basically getting these two men killed or brought back alive so he can see his family once again. So yeah, the story is it's actually very good for what it is. I have to say it's one of the strongest points in this game because it was more interesting than I thought the original Grand Theft Auto story was before. So graphically, as you can see, the game looks quite amazing. This is easily one of the best looking games on the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3 and stuff, and they just did a really great job. Grand Theft Auto 4's graphics were alright. They were standard. I didn't really I could see the look that they were going for, but they weren't anything special, stuff like that. But with this game, it seems like all the animations and stuff, they redid that. They basically built a whole new engine from the ground up. Like when you're walking in grass or some tumbleweeds or anything like that, it moves where your feet are going, and it's just the whole environment reacts to the way you play, whoever that might be. Also, there's different outfits that you can select and unlock from completing certain tasks and certain side missions and stuff, and that's probably the strong point in this game, is that even though if you beat the story mission, the game isn't over. You still have to do tons of side quests and side missions if you so choose so, but the side missions are actually really fun for what they are, and they just add a lot more replay value into the game itself. So yeah, graphically, this game is definitely one of the prettiest inside and out. I can definitely say. Characters are great, and yeah, the story itself is gonna last you about, I'm gonna say 15 to 20 hours, possibly more if you do the side missions. But the story mission is very long and it's really interesting. You're gonna want to beat this game. And for those of you who have beat the game, you would have known already that I did it myself too. I actually beat this game last night, and the ending is just really good. I mean, it feels like it was a movie, and the way they shot this game and made the cinematic feel to it. It definitely feels like an old Wild West movie, and something that you're gonna want to play again in time. So there also is climate changes. As you can see, the environment changes from day to night. It also rains and it snows in the environment, and also it heats up and certain stuff. But yeah, the gameplay is basically the same as Grand Theft Auto 4. However, if you're going to compare the two, I would say that this gameplay runs a bit smoother on Red Dead Redemption. There's one thing I really didn't like in Grand Theft Auto 4, and that was the cover system. It felt really just unuseful at times. I mean, I had better luck just aiming my gun and just automatically, shooting at enemies instead of just taking cover behind a wall. And the fact that you had to hold down the fire button just to, aim was really stupid. In this game, the cover system feels more like a traditional third-person cover system, something, you know, like Uncharted or any other, you know, or Gears of War, any other third-person game. You aim your gun, and then you just, you know, press fire at the enemy. So the cover system worked great. The game runs at a pretty smooth frame rate and stuff. Actually, I actually saw a lot of frame rate drops as I was playing, but I think it all depends on what environment you're in and how long you've been playing the game. But there are some frame rate drops, some textures popping in and stuff. And for a game like that, I can understand, because, you know, this is a big open world game, and if you look at a game like Fallout 3, there are still textures popping in. But yeah, the game itself is very good and stuff. There are glitches in the game, and I'm going to tell you guys a really funny thing right now. Actually, we're going to jump into the multiplayer section of the game right now, which also adds a lot more replay value into the game. So let's jump into multiplayer. You can do that right from the story mission. And what's really interesting is that they actually give you a main menu, unlike they did in Grand Theft Auto 4, where they just threw you into the story. You actually have a main menu now, which is actually really nice. I'm glad they did that. There is downloadable content for this game available. It actually is free right now. If you guys don't know, it's called the Outlaws 3 and Mission Pack. It gives you co-op missions and bunches of other side missions to do along with friends and stuff. And that's available free on the Xbox Live Marketplace or the PlayStation Store. So let's see. Yeah, there are glitches in the game. I saw that as I was playing the game, sometime in this one cutscene, towards the end, I saw that there were two of the same people, two of the same characters in a cutscene, and for a game like that, that is just unacceptable, because this is a huge blockbuster title that gets a lot of hype and stuff, and glitching for this game is just something they could have fixed and stuff. But I think they did a good job on the full gameplay value. It did a really good job and stuff, and it works really well. Everything just runs a lot more smoother than Grand Theft Auto 4. Now about multiplayer, it's a free roam multiplayer. Basically, you can do whatever you want, and you can yeah, with your friends or anything like that. There's not a lot of time left, so I'm not gonna show a lot of it, but yeah, you can join. You can have your friends joining in your posse. So you can go around and just, you know, have a whole gang, as you would say. But the multiplayer is definitely one of the strong suits of this game, and it definitely adds a lot more replay value to the game. So the game did a really, really good job at multiplayer. So overall, I'm going to give the game a 9 out of 10, because it's an awesome game. Have a good day.